Trossard again, ole ole. Trossard again, ole ole. What a day. Welcome to the quick reaction video here on Latte Firm. It is just approaching 2 a.m. on Monday, the 13th of May here in the UK. I've just got back from Old Trafford. What a long day. We did it. We finally did it. I saw Arsenal beat Manchester United at Old Trafford. I thought I'd just get online, make a quick reaction video, and basically talk through my thoughts about today's game. So welcome to everybody watching. I know it's very late. If you are sleeping, enjoy your sleep, sweet dreams, wake up with a spring in your step, and tune in to Latte Firm. And of course, like the video if you are tuning in for the first time. Alpha Wolf is awake, says, I'm still awake. Randomly clicked YouTube. Ugly win tonight, FK, but I'll take it. So proud of this team taking it to the last day. We can only get better from here. Hope you're well. I don't know about only getting better. We've been phenomenal this season. Absolutely phenomenal. And it's a great way to end the season by taking it to the final weekend. That's all we could have asked for. Absolutely fabulous. Rofikov says, to the Arsenal, 1-0. Indeed. Bungle, 9:45 a.m. my end. Keep this time slot weekly, please, FK. Don't know about that, mate. 2 a.m. And I need to be at St. Paul's for 8 a.m. I've got soggy feet. The thunderstorm came. My socks got soaked and we had to walk quite far back to the car. I need to shower. I need to get to bed. I need to be up in just a few hours' time to get into London. Rofikov says, aren't you working? I am. But today was a special day, man. Today was a special day. BG says, morning all. Old School Guna says, well done, sir. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Hero Down Under, hello from Orange, Australia. And Kemper says, let's go. 6:49 p.m. here and I'm buzzing. I'm sure you are buzzing. I am buzzing. Let's crack on into the slides as we normally do. By the way, hundreds of you watching live across both platforms. Please do get involved in the socials. If you're tuning in for the first time on YouTube, like the video. It's a massive help to the channel. Super chats welcome, of course, as well. And subscribe if you're new. And if you're watching on Twitter, get involved by following Latte Firm. So there's the headline. We did it. We beat Manchester United, and there's context behind that coming up for any first-time viewers. But first up, the team news. As you can see, courtesy of Arsenal.com, unchanged for the 4th game in a row. I could get used to this. David Raya in goal, White, Saliba, Gabriel, Tomiyasu passing his fitness test, Rice, Partey, Ødegaard, with Saka, who was a bit of a doubt with that gash picked up against Bournemouth. Trossard keeping his place out wide ahead of Gabby Martinelli, and rightly so. He has been coming up clutch for weeks now, and he is deserving of this starting spot in this team. And Kai Havertz up top, who since the Dubai break now has played 10 or 11 games up front, and he's got something like 8 goals and 6 assists or something stupid like that. Forgive me for getting the numbers wrong. I should know. This channel's not about that, but I should know those numbers. But I read it somewhere on Twitter, and I'm just thinking that's an incredible return from Kai. What a performance he's had this season. And it was, of course, Leo Trossard's goal in the 20th minute that got us the 1-0 victory, 1-0 to the Arsenal. Very, very sweet. Now, to add the context, many of you will have seen on PremierLeague.com that was Arsenal's 16 matches at Old Trafford, last 16 matches. 1 victory in 2020-2021. That was the COVID year that I couldn't go. But this dipshit Muggins over here has been to all of those games, and I've seen us lose far too many times at Old Trafford. Today was my 17th time watching Manchester United versus Arsenal, and the first time that we've come away with 3 points. And wow, it was very emotional. It was an abysmal game of football. Let's get that straight out the way. It was a really, really horrible game of football. Manchester United with a depleted squad. No Rashford, no Fernandes, 2 of their top players. Scott McTominay, as many of you will know the in-joke. I quite like him. Captain the team, but they are a team and a club in disarray. From stadium falling apart and flooding at the end, to manager who hasn't got a clue, to a group of players who are just so dysfunctional. But we still had to beat them. And we know that Manchester United are very capable of playing the occasion. They've done that against Liverpool this season. They've done it against 1 or 2 other teams. And so today, for us to win, and for me to see us finally win at Old Trafford, I can't tell you how actually quite emotional I was at the end of the game. Not only because the meaning of this game to take the Premier League race to the final weekend, but to get that monkey off our back. I'm so happy. So happy. And a special shout out to my boy Wally, who's the handsome devil on the right-hand side. He's actually a dwarf in real life, but he's on a step. He and I have travelled up and down this country throughout this fantastic season, from Lens to Manchester today, and I've had some memories and some road trips that I will never forget. Special shout out to Wally, man. I love you. And yeah, Old Trafford finally saw me get a victory. As Asif says, FK's duck is over. Alhamdulillah, that's right. Nicholas in the chat saying Trossard and scoring clutch goals. Name a better duo. Trossard and Havertz, I believe you mean. BG says, good times coming to the Arsenal. We were moments away from an even more special season. We're so close to greatness and I'm excited. Listen, I've seen a lot of talk on the timelines about looking back at the season and trying to think of where we, messed up the Premier League title, and lots of people looking forward to next season. This season is not over. There are two massive games to play by both clubs. Obviously, we've got one game out of the way today. We've got a big game against Everton. Manchester City have got two phenomenal games to play. There is still a lot of football that is going to happen. Dylan saying, unbelievable feeling, whatever happens. What a special this season this has been. It can only get better, onwards and upwards. Thank you, Arteta, and to the Cronkies for letting us fans believe again. Double RM says, hey, Sleeper Schooners, beautiful fucking win in it. One more week to go. One more week to go indeed, my friend. The game today, real struggle. Horrible game of football. Not entertaining. I mean, if you're a neutral, you're probably thinking, what the hell are these two teams going on about? We look tired. We look leggy. And I think that gives me a bit of hope ahead of Tuesday. If we're tired at this stage of the season, City, who just played a magnificent game on Saturday against Fulham, they've back-to-back games now in London. I don't know if they travelled back up to Manchester or whether they've stayed away from home for 3 or 4 days, but that's going to take its toll. There's going to be some heavy legs on that pitch, so we hopefully need them to do the job. But for us today, 20 minutes on the clock, the ball's played over from Ben White. Kai Havertz finds himself in acres of space. Casemiro focusing on cooking his kebab, completely balls up the offside trap. Havertz runs through. We get the ball across to Trossard, who's aware and who's alert, and he nips in front of Wan-Bissaka and slots home. Fabulous. Fabulous. And at 1-0, I'm thinking, gosh, this could be 2 or 3. But the game really sort of petered out. United bossed possession. They had more shots on goal. They had a lower XG, of course. But they had 1 or 2 moments where I got a bit anxious, got a bit nervous. But in the end, we managed to hold out. And 1-0 was the score. Adrian's asking, wow, why the late start tonight, FK? I've just got home, my friend, from Manchester. I set off this morning at 8:30 a.m. It's now approaching 2 a.m. in the UK. And I've got to get to work in 6 hours' time. So I need to shower and sleep. And that's why the late start, my friend. I hope you enjoy it. Welcome to the show. Rovikov says, King Kai, realizing Casemiro's position. Talk about football IQ. What an intelligent player Kai Havertz is. Really, just so switched on, so focused. Fabulous. I heard in Gary Neville's post-match podcast, he compared him to Firmino. Firmino was a fine player. Firmino dropped deep and linked up play beautifully. But for me, Kai Havertz is so much more than that. He's a proper workhorse. He runs the channels. He works the defenders. He's a good aerial target. He sacrifices almost his own game for the team. I love Kai Havertz so much. I love this whole group of players. Like, all the boys are so likable. But today, 1-0. Hello, Karen. She's in the chat. Dylan says, Trossard, how special is he? Listen, I think it was about a year ago that I sort of sat in a podcast, in a post-match phone-in, sort of saying, look, you know what? Maybe I'd be open to offers for Trossard this summer. And since then, he's come on and he's scored some very, very important goals for us. He comes up clutch time and time again. I cannot give him enough credit. And as Anne Hathaway said, oh my God, I love you. That is how I feel about Leo Trossard. What a player. What a player. There's not really much to talk about the game, to be honest. Manchester United, like I said, they had more possession than us. They had more shots on goal than us in the end. We looked dangerous in the second half, but we looked tired. We looked really tired. We struggled to string passes together. Saka struggled out wide. Martinelli came on, didn't really kind of get going. I think we can all look forward to this summer. I think the players are going to look forward to a break, but of course, there's the Euros as well, and of course, the season's not over yet, so we need to add to the squad. But 1-0 at the end when we brought on Jorginho and Kivior. Don't know what you guys made of it in the chat. Let me know. But it felt like we were just inviting United onto us. It felt like we were just trying to shut up shop, and I'm not sure that suits Arsenal. I'm not sure that Mikel needs to do that. So it wasn't the best performance. In fact, Kevin's just taken the words out of my mouth. Not the best performance from Arsenal, but we are finding ways to win, which is good. Absolutely. It is so, so good. Infamous _ FPL. Welcome, my friend. Says, I thought defensively we were excellent again. Back four is reminiscent of Chelsea's great back four. Listen, actually, that's a good point. Even though we didn't go knocking on that door and we couldn't score that second goal, I think even the Arsenal fans on the ground today, as anxious as we were about this meaning so much, and as anxious as I was personally about my record at Old Trafford, I didn't doubt our defensive ability. Like, we've got four big boys across the back. Ben White, 6 foot plus, Saliba Gabriel, 6 foot plus, Tomiyasu, 6 foot plus, all defensively so good, all recovery wise so good. I love there was a moment, I think it was Garnacho running towards the Arsenal goal, and Saliba was sort of on the back foot, sort of jogging, running backwards. And then he just sticks out his foot and he sort of stops the ball dead. Certainly looked like that from the away end. I haven't seen any of the highlights. Just a wonderful, wonderful challenge. And Saliba, for me, man of the match today. But you're right, Infamous. Our defensive game is phenomenal. Another clean sheet on the road. In fact, am I right in saying that we are unbeaten in this away shirt? Fulham was the green shirt. No, Villa Park, we played in the yellow. But this today also marks the end of this yellow fluorescent shirt for Arsenal. So, a cult classic going to be sort of retiring. Christoph, welcome to the show, says, love they are learning ways to win. Mark of a team building a full portfolio of competitiveness and getting results under all circumstances. Absolutely. Absolutely, Christoph. We are maturing as a team, and all we are still the second youngest squad in the Premier League. Mikel Arteta is 4 years into his managerial career. Scary how good we might become. Alpha Wolf says, I wasn't too happy with shutting up shop. I was hoping he'd bring on a couple who would hold the ball up in their half. Yeah, listen, that's what I mean. A couple of wide players, pin them back, bring a bit more energy up top. Gabby Jesus came on, of course, as well for Saka. Don't think he did too well. But I think the boys just look exhausted. It's been such a phenomenal season. Karen says, it's been so long since we won there. I don't even care how we won. My friend, my good friend, I am with you. Like I said just a few moments ago, my 17th visit to Old Trafford to see Manchester United Arsenal, and today was our first win. I don't care how we got today's win, but we got it. That's all that counts. So where does it leave us? Well, it leaves the Premier League still within reach for Arsenal. It goes to the final day. Today's result, of course, confirming that we've done the double over Manchester United. 3-1 home winners, 1-0 away winners. I believe the same scorelines in a very famous title-winning season some years ago. So who knows if that's meant to be a sign. But the image on the right-hand side, courtesy of Premier League, 27 wins now in a Premier League season for Arsenal. Our most ever, eclipsing the Invincibles. I mean, what this team is doing, what this young team is doing is staggering. Staggeringly good. Ignore the noise. Ignore the bottlers cracking, noise coming from rival fans. We are a phenomenal football team, and we are fucking good at football. Our metrics suggest that. Goals scored, goals conceded, clean sheets, points on the board. Run this calendar year. The calendar year alone, we are on a trajectory of 100 plus points. I mean, we are a really, really good team. And listen, we might not win the league this year. And whilst I'm not accepting it because the season still has, I think, a twist, I can rest really happy knowing that Arteta is building this project. I completely trust in everything that we see. We are so good at football. Of course, needless to say, I hope we do win the league. And O'Malley, welcome to the chat, my friend. He says, away from home, we're so good. We are. We're so, so good away from home. We've been so, so good. Kemperer says, final day, it's coming. And that's what it means. It means that Hopefully, Liverpool can defeat Aston Villa in the Monday Night Football, and if that happens, the enemy, the old enemy, have a chance at maybe going for Champions League football. And while that dream is alive, you just never know what's going to happen on Tuesday. Look, we know City are phenomenal, right? I get it. And if you had to, if your life depended on it and you had to pick a winner, you'd pick City. You'd be forgiven for thinking that. But listen, Daniel Levy, a man who is so attracted to financial gains, Ange, who we've ribbed throughout the season, but you he takes it seriously. He wants to see progression from his team. The players themselves at Spurs, they want to be Champions League players. Think about all of the qualification bonuses and player contracts. They are going to have something to play for. Just because their fans don't want to see us win the league, they are going to want to pursue Champions League football. So we need Klopp's guys to go to Villa Park tomorrow and turn them over. We need Spurs to have something to play for, and you never know. You never know. And if it's not Spurs, okay, we take it to the final weekend. David Moyes' farewell. They go to the Etihad, West Ham. You never know. You never know. And you know what? That's all I could have asked from this group of players. Take it to the final weekend. That is progression. Last year, we fell away. It was so painful. We fell away quite early. And then, of course, the end of the season sort of petered out for us. But this season, we take it to the final weekend. And that is all we could have asked for. This fantastic group of players, this young manager, to go head to head with the juggernaut that is Manchester City. We've talked about that time and time again on this channel. It's fantastic. And you know what? I'll go so far as to say that it's a phenomenal achievement by these boys. And let's hope for a bit of good fortune. Let's hope that Spurs can do something. If they draw on Tuesday, it means that we have a +3 superior goal difference to Manchester City, and we would have to beat Everton. And only if Manchester City beat our score by +3, then they will win the league. If they lose to Spurs, all we have to do is beat Everton. If they beat Spurs, then of course we have to hope that West Ham take something on that final day. Let's see. Rofikov saying West Ham, no chance. Kevin saying, I have a strange feeling that we're going to win the league. I don't know. But Spurs have a way against City. That's right. Spurs have been phenomenal at home. Ayushman RC just says, come on, you Gunners. I love it. And Rofikov says, Arteta said it's not progress, it's history. And Sahil says, I wish that juggernaut could be stopped one day. They will be stopped one day. They absolutely will be stopped one day. The charges will come out. Pep will leave. The players, they're much, much older squad, aging stars compared to Arsenal. Of course it will at some point. And let's hope that it starts this week. I think we're going to leave it there because, frankly, I'm exhausted. What a wonderful day going to Manchester, winning that game against Manchester United. Like I said, first time for me seeing Arsenal win at Old Trafford against United. I've seen us beat Spurs and Sheffield United and stuff in the Cups. So a really fantastic day for me. Last away game of the season. And the show is nearly over. What an amazing journey it's been. So on to Liverpool tomorrow to beat Villa, hopefully. Then to Spurs hosting Manchester City on Tuesday. If something happens on Tuesday night, we will be back with some sort of a show. We'll be back tomorrow night after the Villa game for a late night latte to really look into today's game in great detail. And then it's the final weekend. Infamous saying, get some rest. I'm looking forward to hitting the bed, man. I need to have a quick shower, iron my shirt for work tomorrow. And I got to be in St. Paul's for 8. If anybody's in and around St. Paul's and want to buy me a coffee in the morning, please feel free to do so. Robbie says, have a great night, FK. Thanks for everything this season. Thank you. We had some really lovely messages on the post-match phone-in, people thanking us for the content. Look, I love making the content. I love this community that we have, and I love engaging with you guys. And we are going to go from strength to strength. Thanks, Karen. Bye. Take care. O'Malley says Spurs don't have the Europa League locked up either. And Based Kirby says, can't wait to taste your tears on Sunday. My man, listen, we know what we're up against. We know that you're a fantastic football team with a great manager. And if that's meant to be, then that's meant to be, man. But for us, we know also what we're building. And I'm very proud of the team, very proud of the club, very proud of everything that Mikel is doing. So let's see, my man. Let's see what happens. Kevin says, good night, brother. That is where we will end it. Like I say, if you could please like the video before you go. Hit subscribe if you tuned in for the first time. My apologies for being a little bit monotone and a little bit tired tonight. I am exhausted. Manchester. That's a good sort of 500 miles round trip today. And thank you everybody for tuning in and for all the kind comments. We'll leave it there. Villa Park tomorrow night. Spurs Tuesday. Who knows? Leave. See you soon.